What's going on, people? This is your boy Mendel Anthony with A.L.N.S. We have a very, very special guest in the studio today. This young lady is one of the, I have to be honest, one of the biggest hustlers that I've ever met in my life. You can find her on the show Black Ink Compton. You know, if you go in celebrities' houses, non-celebrity houses, galleries, you can find her, all of her artwork hanging up on their walls. You go down in different parts of LA and see murals that she has done for famous basketball players and famous rappers and famous actors. Not only does she do all that, this girl's a model, and you can actually find her in the studio dropping bars. Introducing to everybody, Miss Nessie Blaze.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
So,
it's been a while. You know, we've been knowing each other for probably 6-7 years. You know, when I first met you, you were up and coming, but now you're there. You know, so I really want to know, or our fans want to know, everything about who Nessie Blaze is, where you started from. What are some of the strife that you went through to get to where you are now? You know, what are some of the things that you're doing? What are some of your future endeavors? Where do you see Nessie in the next 5 years? You know, we want to know who you are.
Okay. Well, I still think I'm up and coming. I definitely am on the next level of like my life, I feel like, or my journey, but I still feel like I'm not at the bottom, but I still feel like it's just the beginning.
Okay.
You know, like this is just the start. Even the show is just like, you know, it's just like getting me in a mindset for the next level, I feel like, that I'm about to reach. But honestly, I started with nothing. I started with a dream and $300, and I moved from Philly to LA in 2013 with an ex. Long story, didn't work out. Typical stories that I tell very often, if you know me. It didn't work out, and so I just started hustling, and like my whole thing was like I didn't want to go home because I didn't want to seem like I failed or like let people down or like because I was confident when I came out here. Like I got $300. Like I don't know what.
$300
You know what I'm saying?
in LA.
It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, like. That shit ran out quick, and I really had to force myself to learn how to hustle because I don't want to work for nobody. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you really want to do this and you're valuable and you are who you say you are, who you think you are, you're going to figure it out. And so I tried to figure it out, and I tried to figure it out, and tried to figure it out. And it took me like 8 years. Mm-hmm. I was broke as shit for the first good 5 years out here. It was like normal to have like less than $30. Like,
and times like that, what did you do to get by?
Promo modeling here and there, just with different liquor companies and stuff. I happened to luckily meet this girl Liz in a random like coincidence, and she just like rocked with me as like an independent modeling agent. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a contract or like a whole agency or anything, but she was just connected to different people, and she would hire me for events. And she's like, I don't care if you cross promote yourself, which a lot of brands do, because they're like, look, exactly. You here to sell my liquor, like you're not a tattoo artist today, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna throw the focus up. She was never like that. Companies I worked for were always like just really good people. You know what I'm saying? You really work with like really nice people, and I could tell the type of network that she had. To this day, I still work with her. I just did another gig for her, and it's been like 7 years now. Funny part is I haven't seen her in like 6. But I did that, and then hustling, literally going downtown, like hanging my clothes on like the fence on like 7th for real, like down there putting out paintings and stuff. Like, look, this is $25. This is that. Going to Venice, you know. And I remember sometimes like going down.
Oh, so Venice. You did do the boulevard, Venice Boulevard, like doing your
like
stuff.
The beach, the boardwalk. Exactly. Well, I tried. So the one time I went down there, and this is when I was like down bad. Like, I mean, less than $30 is down bad no matter what, but I was down bad. Like, yo, if I don't make a sale today, like I don't know how I'm gonna eat tonight type shit, you know. So I took the train down to Venice. I walked. You know, Santa Monica is the stop. They don't go to Venice, so that's like what?
So you walked from Santa Monica to Venice?
Yes, I walked from Santa Monica to Venice with all my stuff, in this weather, you know, it's like 90 degrees outside. I'm walking. I get there, and I'm selling like hand painted merch. Okay. I went downtown to the Fashion District. I bought all these hats, and I hand painted them. And like I'm selling them for $25 each. Walk up and down. Pokemon Go was out. I'm like, yo, it's all these Pokemons. Like I just started, you know what I'm saying, just really thinking what was trending. Going down, they just gonna sell instantly. I literally walk 2 miles, you know what I'm saying? It takes me an hour, 2 hours to get down there from like North Hollywood at the time, like taking the train and everything. Okay. I set my stuff up, and he was like, the cops on the boulevard were like, you can't sell this here because it's a conflict of interest. Wow. You're not allowed to sell custom clothing. It's only like art or like, I guess anything else really, because you're conflicting with the stores down there.
So when you did that, I mean, because you are an artist too, and you do paint and all that stuff, did you just kind of wrap up all the merch and decide to paint, or?
No, I still was doing merch. That did not stop me at all. I just figured it was just a bad day, you know. And on a spiritual level, something earlier happened that day, and I feel like I kind of failed a test. Like, I'm very big on signs, and just like, I feel like no matter how ready you are for something, monetarily or skill level wise or hustle, anything, you know what I'm saying? If you're not like right, like within yourself, if you're not like aligned with your true self,
Totally agree.
like it's just not gonna happen.
Totally
like, sure,
agree.
it's just not gonna click. You can be right there, it's just not gonna happen. And I feel like it was one of them moments, and I still think about it all the time to this day, because I'm just like, damn, what if I would have, just for validation, you know, I wonder if it would have worked out. But I still ended up doing merch. I got my clothing in a store on Hollywood Boulevard called Chateau Denim.
Nice.
It was like a co-op store. One of my friends worked there. Just another one of them situations. Networking, you know. Just
And
keep
how
getting up.
long after you started trying to do your merch did it take before you actually got it in that store?
I don't want to say the merch took that long, only because I originally got my paintings in there first.
Okay.
Because I had like different celebrity paintings. Remember, I had like Kehlani and SZA and a couple other people, and he was like, "Why don't you hang them? Because like it would just be cool to display them." And I'm like, "Dope." He's like, "If somebody asks, no, I'll just hit you up, and then we'll go based off that, like how we sell it or whatever, because we don't sell artwork here."
Yeah.
And then when I started doing the merch, he was like, "Oh, you sell the hats here?" And like I was selling like $2 hats that I was customizing for $75, and they were going.
Nice.
And so like when shit like that happens, oh shit, can I say this? Oh yeah, it's raw and cut. Got it.
It's completely uncensored. You can say whatever you want to say here.
When shit like that happens, you start learning your value. Like I didn't even see value in myself like that, you know, because I'm like, damn, 75, like that's a lot. But at the time, I'm really not getting 75. I'm splitting 3 ways, you know, so I'm only getting 25 of that. So I feel like I was finessing people. It was just like, damn, I got to eat too type situation. So this is what it's going to cost you. But when I seen it going, I was like, damn, like they just put me in a whole different mindset. Like you're worth whatever you say you're worth or whatever you tell people you're worth, you know. If you keep taking nothing, you're going to keep getting nothing.
Totally agree.
Like, that's just how it's going to go. And so I just took that and then I ran with it and it just started snowballing.
So what made you, because I think when I first met you, I think you were probably like 21 years old or something like that. But I always saw a huge amount of hustle in you. At such a young age, what made you have that drive for that hustle?
I think just like fear of being nothing, like just fear of like being stagnant, fear of not even to throw shade, but just like everybody that I saw around me, just like I just didn't want to live a life that I was just like, I'm gonna just get up and do this every day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, ready to get up 9 to 5, go to work, go home, feed the kids, go to bed, get up 9 to 5. Like, yo, I can't do that, bro. Like, it's not for me. Like, it's not for me. And I was young enough to be like, shit, if I take the chance and I move to LA, I don't lose anything if I feel like at least I did more than most people would ever do. You know what I'm saying?
But you moved to one of the most expensive cities in this country to try to succeed. And in doing so, like you said, I know you said that you still consider yourself to be up and coming, but you have succeeded far further than a lot of people that have come here to do some type of something in the entertainment industry. You know, so the fact that you have accomplished that, what can you tell the people that come here from other states hoping to make it? Because as we all know, LA has the highest homeless population. And the reason why that is because a lot of people do come here with hopes and dreams, and those hopes and dreams don't come to fruition, and they don't have anyone here to fall back on, and they end up homeless. Because I know at one point, I think you were homeless, correct?
Damn near. I mean, I was couch surfing kind of, you know, like I was still giving people money here and there when I could, but I didn't have my own place, you know what I mean? Like I was always like I was with my ex, or like a friend of his was helping us out for a while, you know, and it was just situations like that until I finally found like my own apartment and then had my own roommates, you know?
Yeah. So what can you tell the people that's coming here trying to do the same thing? Because I see you as a success story. Like me, when I came here to California, I had a job, a regular 9 to 5 that was paying me well and stuff like that. Even though I was in the entertainment industry, I had that as a fallback. You know, but a lot of people come here and they don't have that. What would you tell those people that come here like you with that hope and dream, but don't quite have that hustle mentality you have? What would you tell them?
People who don't have the hustle, like hopes and dreams is all good and dandy, but you can make it with hopes and dreams anywhere. And that's part of the reason that I picked LA, because I knew it was going to be hard, and I figured if I can make it happen here, there's nowhere else in the world that will, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking over. Like if I do it here, that's it. Like you want to fight the biggest and baddest, you know, you got to compete with the best.
Totally
like,
agree.
If not, you never really know. And so the ceiling I felt like in Philly was too low.
Okay.
You know, there's greatness there,
Mm-hmm.
tons of greatness, but I feel like humble greatness that like people in Philly build. They're okay with being pieces of other people. I feel like, you know, like a lot of people like take the back burner. I feel like with their friends and stuff like that. And hate too. It's just a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Where I felt like here people come to chase their dreams. Everybody wants to be successful and wants to network. But LA will eat you up, man.
Totally
That
agree.
will eat you up. Like you have to have heart. I always tell people if you're gonna come here, like learn yourself, because this is where people come to start like the revolt of the squirrels. They have this big belief of just anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything that people believe in. I feel like they come to LA to like revolutionize
Exactly.
it. They like come to LA to make you believe everything about this. They dump all this money into these different things and like will really have you thinking like, damn, like is this real? You know what I'm saying? Is this how the world works? Like, is this what's going on? So I feel like knowing yourself is really important. Knowing why you're doing it is like the number one reason. Like, it's not about what or how, it's about why you're doing it. Like, my whole thing was like, I'll find different methods if I know why I'm doing something.
Okay.
Because if it's just what if that what doesn't work? And then you're just stuck.
Exactly.
It's like
You got to have a backup plan.
It's like, why? It's like, oh, I can do this to get to that why. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that, you know? So just looking at things from a different perspective.
Okay.
Like, I don't think you can think like a worker in a way. You got to start thinking like you're in charge of your
own destiny.
Your destiny, yeah, and like self-discipline. Like you have to like choose to work every day when you don't have to.
And I totally agree, because like I said, when I met you back in the day, you know, you're a very attractive woman. You know, so when I met you back in the day, generally you would think that you come here and you just want to be this party animal and all that stuff, and you've never really done that from what I know. You know, even when you're, from what I see, well, yeah, I'm sure we all do. But from what I see, even when you're partying, it's some type of work involved with you. You know, and that drive is applaudable. You know, and I just want to understand fully where that drive came from. Was it more like your dad, your mom, or just self motivation that gave you that drive to just keep hustling?
Both my parents are very hard workers. They do work 9 to 5s. They're just, you know, regular cool people, but they hustle. You know what I mean? Like never making excuses. Neither of them. It was always just like, you know, this bill got to be paid and this got to be done. Like you just work for it every day. You know, never taking days off, stuff like that. So I saw that all growing up.
Okay.
But I think it was like the people doubting me that made me like go the hardest, because I always had something to prove. It was like, yo, like, and especially because like not even say like I'm a pretty girl, but because I'm a pretty girl, people underestimate me for like not wanting the things that I want. And I'm like, bro, I'm not Beyonce, I'm Jay-Z, and I need you to understand that. You know what I mean? And that's no shade to Beyonce. She's fire, she's lit, she works hard too. But like that's just not like where I'm mentally. Like I'm not an entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm a mind. Like I'm a whole system.
And that's one thing I've noticed about you over the years of knowing you, that you're real. You don't sugarcoat shit. You know, and that's kind of why I wanted you to be the first guest on my show, because my show for me is about people being real, being who they are. Because unfortunately here in LA, there's an extreme amount of fakeness here in LA. You know, so I want to bring people on my show, because if I bring a person on my show and they're not real, they're gonna get their feelings hurt. You know, because I'm gonna call them out on things.
They're sensitive. They might be real, just a little sensitive, but I feel you.
Well, you know, I can understand if they sensitive, this may not be the show for them to come on.
Fair enough.
But because I want to get down to the nitty gritty, the dirty, you know, because life is not all about happiness and freckles, you know. So people got to know the truth behind life to help them understand how to succeed in life. But I'm gonna digress a little bit here, and kind of hit on Black Ink Compton. How did that come about? How did you get on the show? Is there a season 2 coming? Tell us a little bit about that.
There's definitely season 2 coming. You guys gotta tune in. It's gonna be dope. I got on the show through somebody I really look up to. Lemire is a dope ass tattoo artist, like super fire. I always looked up to him. Like,
that's the brother with the dreads. That's on the show. Okay.
Yep. Always looked up to him just like via Instagram. Never knew him like in real life. And
but
then
y'all both from Philly, right?
Yeah, but like we just knew of each other, and it's crazy because we were in the same place a couple times. And I didn't notice until like he was like pulling off in the car. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? There's all situations I'm just like, not meant to happen yet. You know, whatever. I would just show love on Instagram. You know, just liking stuff or whatever, comment on his tattoos. And then one day I just got a DM and he's like, hey, you know, had this opportunity come up. I think you'll be dope for it. And just told me, and I actually turned it down the first time because of a guy. was stupid.
Wow.
It was dumb. It was dumb.
You know I'm going to get back to that later on. You know I'm going to bring out a bit of your personal life while we're sitting here too, right?
It was really, that's fine. But it was just stupid. And so I turned it down, but then I ran into him later, a couple months after we broke up.
Okay.
Actually, wow, today. It was August 26th when I ran into him.
So this is the anniversary
3
of your
years ago.
reinvention.
That's crazy, yeah. Because I remember it was my mom's birthday.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. I ran into him and I was like, bro, the opportunity's still available. I know it's kind of unrealistic. It's like 3 months later, but if it is, I'm down. Like, and they called me the next day, and then it was just.
Oh, so when you had told me that you were going on the show, and I thought that was like the first time that you had heard about the show when you told me you was going on it, but it had been a previous opportunity that you turned down.
Yeah, well, even before when he hit me up, like I turned the first one down with him too, but for other reasons. But the first time I got hit up was like for Black Ink Chicago, and that was like years ago. But that was just me being insecure in my own work. Yeah. Honestly, like I was just like, I'm not ready for that. I watched the episodes. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get beat the fuck up if I go to Chicago. Like that's like my mouth. Like I can't. I'm like I don't know these people, but they are not fucking playing.
Yeah, Chicago's definitely a different breed.
Right, and like I just felt like it was for no reason too, you know. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna chill. Like I'm good.
Okay.
And so I just basically waited my turn. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really in a rush to get in front of the world, and not be enough. I guess I forget who said it, but it was like, was it Basquiat?
What's the what?
Andy Warhol. I don't know. I forget who it was, but an artist said, I'm glad that I never got recognition because it gave me time to develop.
Okay.
And that's kind of like
Good
how
way
I
of
feel
thinking.
about that, because I'm just like, damn, like what if I would have went on there before? Like my work, I might have felt so like good then.
Yeah.
And then not ever wanted to be better or something. You know what I mean? Like I always kept that drive where I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And it just forced me to like grow into who I am.
To get
now.
better.
Mm-hmm.
So on one of the episodes on the show, because I actually watched it because of course you're my girl, my homegirl, so I watched every episode to support, of course. And on one of the episodes, what's the lead guy name? What's the guy whose shop it is?
KP.
Okay, so you called out KP, and you told KP that he's a Mr. Kyler Pratt. How did that come about, and what transpired after that took place? Because I saw what happened on the show, but I know it had to have gone further than that.
No, it's really not funny though. It's just funny when people say it because of how they bring it up. But it's really not funny because it really was disrespectful, and that the disrespect wasn't even meant for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was just already at like my limit for the day. Like, yo, whoever's in front of me is about to get like, whoever the gun is pointing at right now.
They're just gonna get it.
It's your turn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Russian roulette out there. I'm like,
okay.
I'm sorry, but like I was just so irritated that day, and like my thing is it was everything kept getting directed back to like to me, like do something because you're the boss of the shop.
Yeah,
you know, we're
exactly.
all your employees. And I just feel like he wasn't speaking up, and I was just getting like, I don't even want to use the word bully, but damn near like bullied every day. You know what I'm saying? Like disrespected every day for no reason. Like almost like belittled every single day, just for no reason.
I mean, because aren't you in the show? Aren't you one of the only ones that's not actually from Compton? You, the guy with the dress that brought you in, and then the young lady that does the nude modeling.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
Voodoo.
Yeah, you three are the only ones that's not really from Compton on the show, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when that happened, and you and him had you all beef or whatever, and you called him out, what transpired where he actually let you stay or come back? Because I know from the show he was talking about he was done with you.
Yeah. Well, I apologized. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, I'm a hothead. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that's the first time or last time that happened. You know what I'm saying?
How
like,
you a hothead being so small?
It's possible. People on the Chihuahua's body. I was telling people like I'm not joking about that. There's a lot of big dick energy in here. No homo. Like it's just like I'm just aggressive. Like it must be the Aries. I don't know. But like when people like really piss me off, especially because I feel like I don't walk around just like pushing people's buttons. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm like joking or something, I catch you on a bad day.
And
like,
I've
I'm
never
not
experienced
one
that
of the
from you.
Yeah, like I don't try to like ruffle people's feathers and shit like that. Like I'm just chilling. So like when people fuck with me, I take it personal. It's very personal to me. And I felt like there was no reason behind it. It was just like, is there a personal issue? And there's a reason you're never like speaking up about it. But I just kind of went off, and I ended up apologizing like multiple times, like reaching out to him on and off camera. Just like, look, like I'm sorry because that shit was wrong. You know
so I have to ask this because I've been on a few reality shows, and I know that the producers try to push controversy on the show. Was that something that was real, or was that something that the producers pushed into? If you can release that type of information.
I don't know about the whole day before that. What was, you know, it's not really. Even when it's producing, I'm saying there's always a bit of truth to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not acting. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, I don't even know how to explain it, but that part particularly, like me going off, like nobody told me nothing.
Okay.
Like I was really pissed off.
That
you know what I'm saying?
emotional.
Like I was really mad. Yeah, and that's why I truly apologize.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because those were words that came from me. Like I'm not about to hide behind no. The producer, like, no, I wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always own when I'm wrong. I take my L standing up every fucking time, no matter how stupid or dumb I look or how many people are going to talk about it. Like, I feel like if I can own my own wrongs, you can't tell me shit. You know what I mean? You can accept it or be done with me or whatever, but, like, it's honest, and then you can choose. Like, I'm going to always give you that option.
So, going into the second season, do you feel that animosity is going to be there on his part at all, or have you all pretty much squashed it?
I can't talk about season 2. Because nobody knows anything about that, you know?
Okay.
We're still living the life right now. We're filming.
Okay, I accept that.
Reality it's current right now.
So I'm going to go somewhere that's maybe a little controversial. I know that at one point you had an OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. And I never checked out the content that was on it because I was like, okay, I don't want to see my girl in this you know, in this light, you know. But I know it was kind of short lived as to how you was active on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. So what made you decide to sign up for OnlyFans, and what made you decide for it to be short lived?
I made a joke on Instagram, and I was like, OnlyFans link in bio, and then the link in my bio just said, haha, you thought.com. You know what I mean? And so everybody was just commenting laughing faces, but like mad people commenting laughing faces. You know what I'm saying? All these likes and shit, everybody's cracking up. And I'm like, all these people went and clicked the link. Because the only way that you would know it's funny is if you've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, oh, you want to see me? Like, it was girls and everything. I'm like, you guys want to see me naked? That's what you want to see? So I'm like, I made my subscription for $20 a month, but I was only posting stuff that I was posting to Instagram already. Because they can't see it till they follow you anyway. Okay. And I made like $2,000 just off $20 subscriptions without ever posting anything.
So basically, you post the same thing that they could see on Instagram. For free. For free. Mm-hmm. They were paying for it because they didn't know what it was.
Exactly. Or it would just be like, you know, if we're in the mirror taking pictures, you're in a bikini or something, like, I'll take a couple different ones. I'll just
let's be perfectly honest, though, Nessie.
Sticking this hip out instead, you know?
Let's be perfectly honest. You got some sexy pictures on Instagram, too.
But that's what I'm saying. It was everything I was giving away for free, so I didn't feel like I was selling my soul or, like, doing something I wouldn't do because I wasn't doing it for the money. I just did it because I'm like, well, if y'all want to give me money for free shit, which people pay for free shit all the time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm like, cool, whatever. So I got, like, $2,000 off just the subscriptions. And then I started selling, like, my behind-the-scenes, like, live body painting. So, like, body paint myself, but even then, like, everything private was covered, you know? So
because you have
like,
some of that on Instagram, too.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just, like, the process, just, like, artistically, you know, people wanted to see that. So I made a few dollars off that and ended up making, like, probably, like, $4 or $5 grand total. Mm-hmm. But it was, like, mid-COVID, and I wasn't struggling. Like, I was doing really well because people were bored and getting stimulus checks and coming and getting tatted. And I was really just racking up. Like, I didn't, like, struggle at all. And so I told my homegirls, I was like, yo, I want to donate, like, the money I made on OnlyFans to people because people are really out here struggling.
Actually, I think I saw you post that on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so we ended up starting a whole nonprofit called Pay It Forward. Because then one of my best friends, she was like, I'll match you. Whatever you put up, I'll match. Okay. So then that got us to $4,000. And then my assistant at the time, who's still one of my best friends to this day, she was like, I'll put up $1,000. So I was like, bet. So it's $5 grand we're going to give away for Christmas, you know, just out the blue.
Exactly.
Like, and I just posted it up, and I was like, you know, we're doing this. You guys are my OnlyFans, so now I'm be your OnlyFans.
I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think that's quite commendable because, you know, as you said, you're doing decent for yourself, but you're not rich by any means, but you're still paying it back to people that's even less fortunate than you. And a lot of people don't think about doing that.
Yeah. I had a lot of people bless me in my life. Like, I had a lot of people just, like, even simple stuff where it's just like, oh, I got lunch this time. When it was, like, my last $12, I was going to pay it for myself, but you're saving me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be, like, little things that, like, added up over time or, like, little quarters to my house. Like, don't worry about it. Like, when they knew I didn't have it, like, I didn't even see it. Just take it. But that should be adding up for real. You know?
It does.
Like, at the end of the day, like, when I'm good, especially because I remember when I wasn't, I don't know what people are going through, but I know I can help a little bit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It was just
you can do what you can do.
And people are, like, visibly struggling, you know what I mean? Like, losing their jobs and their houses and everything. And I was just like, damn, I'm just chilling over here living life. Like, no, let me do something.
So with your OnlyFans, have you thought about doing another content provider type platform, or are you pretty washed with that?
I want to do tutorials. I'm gonna start selling like knowledge I've learned. Not even selling it, I guess, just like a platform for that for people to like. I just feel like I know so much, like, and I've been so like afraid to be like, hey, let me teach you this because I know I don't know everything, and I feel like I don't want to seem like that. I don't want to seem like a know-it-all. I don't want to seem like I'm telling you what to do. But I be having a lot of like knowledge that can really help people. You know, like knowledge I've used that it's never gonna be taken away from me. No matter how many people I tell, I'm always have and know what I know. So
Now that you're saying that, you know, one day I'm gonna bring you on this show as a guest co-host, right?
Look, I can. Am I a good co-host? Would I be a good co-host?
I mean,
I talk
think,
too much for that.
I think you would be because you are a talkative person. You know, I think you would be because you are an intelligent person and probably can bring things out of people. You know, so that's really what you need to be a co-host, to be able to bring certain elements out of a person that they wouldn't normally talk about.
No, you're right. Yeah, just conversation. That's all it takes.
Exactly. But if you do decide to sell tutorials on a platform or something, you're gonna have to do it on a platform called It's Me.
Okay.
You know.
Got it.
So let's go back to things that you're doing. I know you just did an art show, and then you have another one coming up in what date? Saturday, and that's where you actually now, ladies, this is for all the ladies out here. She's actually doing a painting of Trey Songz in person. You know, so ladies, y'all may want to pull up to this.
Come to the brunch.
I don't know how this dude gonna be dressed when she's doing this painting of him.
No.
But he may take his shirt off or something, ladies. So so you may want to be there and check it out. But NessieBlaze will be painting Trey Songz on Saturday. Is it at a gallery or what is it exactly?
Yeah. So last week, I did OT Genesis, or was that this week? That was this week. That was Tuesday. So okay. Tuesday, this art gallery hit me up, and it's this black couple, and they have this menu, and it's super dope. It's called the Art Gallery, and they do something called the Art Gallery Experience.
Okay.
It's just like different, almost like a club night, but not. It's just more like, it's like chill. It's like a lounge type vibe. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the perfect mix between like being over a friend's house and then being out. You know what I mean? Like, but it's nice. It's really nice and well put together. Like the decor in there, the interior design. I'm just like, damn, this is really cute. You know.
Okay.
But it's chill. It's all the way in Ontario, though. It's the only thing. It's a
that
little
was
bit
nice
far.
Hall.
Yeah, it was, but I've never really been out there like that except for one time. So I like going new places, new people, new crowds. So they hired me to come do OT on Tuesday, and then we're gonna do Trey this Saturday. And so it's just like a vibe. But there's art on the walls.
And so the one that you're doing with Trey at the same location out in Ontario?
Mm-hmm. It's the same location. It's just last time it was a night event, so it was more like a club vibe.
Okay.
And this time it's more like a brunch. Just like
so it's on a
party.
Saturday during the day. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
4 to 10 if you guys want to pull up. The flyer's posted on my Instagram, so.
And while we're speaking, give your Instagram so people know where they can follow you and find you.
You can find me at Nessie_Blaze, NESSIE_Blaze, and definitely tune in to Black Ink Compton Season 2. It's coming.
Okay, good deal. So, you're, as I stated earlier, you're on Black Ink Compton. You do modeling. You do bars.
I do bars.
You're a rapper.
I stepped away from that, actually.
Why? But you actually used to have some nice bars, though.
It was fun, and I liked it because I knew that I could rap, but it became very, very, very stressful when, like, I started taking it seriously. It was just, like, not even too many hands in the pot because I wanted people to help me and, like, be involved, but it was just, like, stop telling me something's wrong because that's how I wanted to say it. You know what I mean? Or, like, no, that's not what I meant, or this, and it's just, like, it just got to the point that there was so much criticism that I never really cared at first. My first project out was just like, and it was fire. Like I still paid like really good money to like record and like get it mixed, like, and I put it out and it was cool. Everybody loved it. And the second project was like all these people involved, and like due to me, I was just caring too much about people's opinions, you know. And then I just never wanted to put anything out. I just always needed something else. I just always needed one more ad lib, or like this needed to be turned down, or this needed to be moved, and then it just became like not fun. Like I noticed I'd be in the studio for like 4 or 5 hours, and it's like. It's like 2 verses. When I first started, I could do fucking 4 songs in one session, you know, because I'm in there just excited, so much to talk about, and then.
But I mean, like I said, I've heard some of your stuff, and and I think it was pretty nice. It was kind of fire, and I wondered why you never really pursued that avenue, and now I know. Why you never fully pursued that avenue. But I'm gonna have to put you on the spot. I know you still got it in you.
I do.
I know you still got it in you. I want to hear a couple of bars. Yep, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want to hear a couple of bars. Come on now.
Trying to think. Well, I always do. I feel like every time I come on these shows, I always pick the same verses just because, or like the same parts of songs, just because I feel like they teach people who I am.
And that's perfectly fine.
Okay. Alright. I don't even got a mic, but I still do this shit. I never been balling before. I ain't been shooting shit. Killing when they see me on Forbes. That's on some future shit. Sometimes I had to sleep on the floor to show the loyalty, but these days they all caught up in the followers saying that the shit gonna come soon. I'm proud of you. Nah, I'm coming when I want to. I ain't a swallowing nigga. I get the money and the power and deposit it, nigga. In the bank, rolling good dank, rolling down the 101, bumping good drink like I'm 2 Chains. But I'm in a fucking Uber. I'm honest. I'm 20 grand in debt due to PSU wildin'. If I could, I would repeat it. I'd do it a fucking again. I met the ones I needed. The debt was still worth my friends. I'm a dropout. Niggas think I copped out. You wanna buy that house? I was trying to buy that block out. They say I'm a knockout. Guess it's my time. I just threw the fucking clock out. Call the hotline. You can call me Pretty Ricky because she pretty like Vicky, but my flow is kind of slick like Ricky. Kind of sick. I'm icky, smoke sticky. Ugh. That's nasty. See, I said it for you, so ain't no need to gas me.
Hey, that's Nessie Blaze, people. Even though that was only a few bars, that still let you know she got it in her. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on her. So what else do you have coming up? I know you're a tattoo artist and you do tattoos consistently. But outside of that, what else do you have coming up? What can we look forward to with Nessie Blaze?
I am tattooing every day, all day, every day. If you want to book appointments, that's where my heart is. Like, I really love what I do.
I don't mean to interrupt it, but I will say this. It's not as easy to book with Nessie Blaze as it used to be. When I first met Nessie Blaze, I would hit her like, hey, Nessie, I'm going to come through for a tattoo. Okay, pull up. Now I hit her up. She say, call my booking agent. I'm like, damn, she done made it. Because I can't even, I can't even just hit her up no more and just say, hey, what's up, Nessie? I'm coming through for the tag.
Look. Shit, God answer prayers. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
and that is a great thing. I mean, when I hit you up and asked for tattoo, and you told me to hit your assistant up, it didn't offend me. It made me proud of you. It really made me proud of you because I don't know if I ever told you this, but I kind of looked at you as a little sister. I would flirt with you because you're fine, but but I always looked at you more so like a little sister. And when I hit you up and you said call your rep or whatever, I was like, at first I was kind of offended. I was like,
well, you know
man,
what,
she know me.
It's
but then
crazy.
I was like, no, that's a good thing.
So many people are offended by that, and it was crazy because I dealt with a lot of that. I actually dealt with people being like, I'm not hitting up your assistant. Like, I want to get a tattoo, but I ain't going through nobody's assistant. Like, shit like that. My thing at the time, I'm like, first of all, you got no respect for my business, and I'm not saying you personally, but because having an assistant is not a flex.
Well, you can't say me because I did hit her up.
Right, true. But like having an assistant is not a flex.
Yeah.
That means that there's so much going on that I literally can't mentally manage my own life. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not a flex to me. Mm-hmm. And at the time, like I still have so many trust issues. Like it's very hard for me to trust people like in my personal stuff, especially my business, my clients. Like I am very big on not letting my clients down. Like you know this from previous sessions where I'm like, if I can't make it look good, I'll turn it down. Because it's like I'm very big on just like my name being attached to things that I'm proud of.
And I totally agree with that because that's why every time I go to get a tattoo, you're the first person that I call. But then when you're not available, then of course I go to somebody else because I need a tattoo. but you're the first person I call because I appreciate the time and effort you put into your tattoos. It's not like you're doing your tattoos just to get paid. You're doing your tattoos because that's your actual artwork. Mm-hmm. And a person can tell it in the tattoos. Like if you look at these Nessie Blaze right here. These are Nessie Blaze. Yeah, these are super old. Yeah, they came out great. Yeah. But yeah, these are Nessie Blaze. My S on my chest, that's Nessie Blaze. And it was a cover up and she did good on it. But with your tattoo business, is that something that you plan on doing like long term forever? Or are you trying to evolve into something different?
I definitely want to have my own shop. And not even just like because I want my own shop, but because I want to have somewhere where I can build up artists where like I was always just hustling by myself, like teaching myself the whole way up. And I've had like a lot of great artists just random artists just help me like give me knowledge and stuff, but I never really felt like a home base anywhere.
Okay.
And I want to have that, like, I want to create that vibe for like new tattooers, because I feel like it's a real like weird industry, because of course nobody wants to see shitty tattoos, which is why I know people are so hard on new artists, but at the same time it's like, if you're not going to help me, don't shit on me, you know?
Exactly.
Like, don't fucking like people try to break people down all the time, and I dealt with so much of that, and I'm like, bro, like, I love tattoos so much, I'll teach anybody, you know what I'm saying? If you love it and you want to do that, why not? Like, you're not taking nothing from me.
I agree.
Like,
That's the unfortunate part about our culture a lot, is that, you know, instead of building one another up, we get offended when we see someone more successful than us, instead of using that as a tool to better yourself, you know. But I have to be honest in saying, I do know there's one guy that told you he was going to buy a building, and he offered to give you your own shop in that building, and you shot him down.
I turned plenty of people down for different opportunities
That was me,
like
people.
that, because I need things to be how I want them. Like, I just don't do things just to do them.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Or just like take any opportunity just because it's there. It's a great opportunity, and that's why I'm like, damn, if I know anybody, I'll definitely let you know, because I would like to see anybody who's ready for that right now. Not ready for right this second, you know. Okay. I'm just looking for it's more about like where it's actually at. You know what I mean? Cause
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Be,
and
at this point, I'm already in the mix. I'm just private. So
totally agree. Like, and where I'm buying the building is significantly out of the area that you know you generally work in and stuff like that, and out of the area that most people probably will want to come to.
Yeah.
So I understood why you said no to it. I wasn't offended by it anyway, but I want to make sure.
I appreciate that too. Yeah. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Yeah, and that's my thing, because I honestly think that your work is pretty good, you know, and that's why I extended that offer to you, you know, because I want to see you succeed. From the day I met you and you did my first tattoo, when I hit you up on Instagram and you did my first tattoo, I always saw that potential in you, because I've always seen how hard you hustle, even just looking at your Instagram and different stuff you do, how hard you hustle. So I wanted to be kind of a piece to helping you get there. So that's why I
and you were, thank you, because you still were, even coming to me, like you said, you used to be able to hit me up, like, you'll pull up. In those days, like, I don't think people realize like how much and why I appreciate my clients so much, because I never had a storefront or anybody promoting me or like an ad in the newspaper or whatever. Exactly. Like, every person that came to me genuinely came to me for me. Like, it's like, you had to find me on Instagram or fuck with my posts.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Trust me to come to an address that I just send you when you don't know me from a can of paint. And at the time, I don't even think I was doing deposits yet, was I?
No, you wasn't.
In the beginning, it was just like, pull up, whatever. I'm whoever.
Exactly.
I don't even care. I'm taking risks. I get robbed, killed, whatever. I'm just like, I just really trusted like that everything was happening how I needed it to happen. And people like you who trusted me before anything, for any show or any amount of followers, when I still had 2,000 or 3,000 followers, like, really trusted and believed in me. Like, y'all put me where I am now, so I will forever be grateful for that.
Well,
like,
you're very welcome, and it was definitely my pleasure, because I like to fuck with real people. I like to be around positive people that's trying to do something with themselves, and I always saw that in you, so that's why I've always fucked with you in that capacity. Now, with your tattoos, that's your main focus, of course, but is there anything outside of, say, tattooing, like with your artwork and all of that stuff, that you're trying to progress as well?
I'm putting merch back out again, just like screen print and stuff, just like different.
What is your brand? You said you had a brand that, like, merch that you put out, and it's a brand that you have.
Stuck Up.
Stuck Up.
It's called Stuck Up. Okay. Yeah, I put it out before.
You gotta tell me about why it's called Stuck Up.
Okay, it's called Stuck Up because when I was in high school, I feel like people used to think that I was, well, at least I heard from other sources that people used to think I was stuck up because I walked like this, you know. But I was never stuck up. I was actually like very, very insecure. You know what I mean? Okay. But I always had that like thing. But I just started thinking about it as I got older, and I'm just like, why is stuck up looked at as a negative term? Because like, people who are saying people are stuck up, it's never the person themselves. It's always other people, which means it's your perception of them.
Exactly.
You think that they're better than everybody, not them. You know what I'm saying? That's your thought. That person doesn't think that, or maybe.
I totally agree, because you know, in my life, I've gotten some of the same comparisons. You know, and it's not that. Now, I am a confident individual. I am, but my confidence does not come from my appearance, even though I'm fine as hell. But you know, my confidence don't come from my appearance. It more comes from my accomplishments. I came from the slums of Chicago, the gutter. You know, I was a knucklehead in Chicago and did shit that I'm not gonna say on camera. But I was able to succeed, and I got, various companies that I own and different stuff like that. So I was able to succeed, and that's where my confidence comes from. It doesn't come from my appearance, because I can get in a car accident today and my appearance gone, but it does not supersede what I succeed.
But even if it did, and like it just really comes down to like, why does it matter why somebody feels good about themselves?
True.
Unless you're doing something grimy, like who cares if you are so in love with yourself because you love your eyes?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like
if
that
you
just
don't
doesn't
love
take
yourself,
away
no
from
one
you.
else can.
Right, and like you should be allowed to be proud of yourself. Like I feel like we're in such a weird like space as humans, because people, if you say like, oh, like I'm just too skinny, I want to gain some weight, they're like, you're perfect, girl, like your body, you should love yourself. And then if I'm like, oh, I look good, they're like, oh, you're scrawny, like, like, and it's like you try to break people down, and it's like, yo, like, bro, what do you want me to be? You want to be confident? You want me to be insecure? And like, I just noticed that no matter what you do, like how people perceive you, you have no control over that. How long people choose to fuck with you, you have no control over that.
I agree. Now, being a woman in the industry, I think you all go through a lot more than men even do, especially attractive women, because you all have to deal with the hassles of guys always trying to hit on you in different spaces. Do you feel that you focus a lot on what other people think, or do you feel that you know who you are and what other people think you don't really give a fuck?
It's so weird because I feel like at first when I got here, I didn't really give a fuck about anything. I'm like, yo, I'm Nessie Blaze. I don't care. I'm out here. You know what I mean? Like, and I really believed that in my head. Like, I was really undefeated in my head. Like, nothing, any room I walked into, like, was my room. You know what I'm saying? It was like, my whole mentality was like, almost like self-centered to me. And I feel like that might have been what made me change a little bit. I just noticed it was always like, I'm this and I'm that. And like, I was like, oh, wait. I don't want to be that person, because that's not why, like you said, like it didn't come from this. This just comes from me being proud of myself, and I'm just like, look, I'm here now. Like I'm excited that I'm here, and I want you to be excited that I'm here. But like, just like saying that, like the more people know about you, the higher expectations are, and it's like I didn't have that many eyes on me, so I didn't. Nobody was telling me shit because it wasn't nothing to talk about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't anybody talking. But now, like, and especially with the show, like, I have to admit, like, it's so funny how, like, opinions of people who you don't even know create your, like, worst insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like...
I can see that.
And it's like, you can't... No matter how... I forget, I was watching an interview today. I think it was, Chloe... I think it was the girl, Chloe Bailey or Chloe...
Yeah, Chloe Bailey.
Yeah, she was talking about that. She actually got a little bit emotional, and I felt
her,
like, really deep. So I was like, damn, like...
With it,
But it's, like, 100 good comments, and then it's just one where it's, like... You like it's just like the shit that people say, like you really think like, damn, you really took time out your day to do that. And even though there's 100 good comments, it's like the one that you kind of linger on.
Well, I think there are people out here that focus on trying to tear people down, because
certainly.
they don't have that self morality in themselves. They don't have that self worth in themselves, so they try to tear other people down, because we all know misery loves company.
Right. And people who aren't doing anything, like. They can't talk about themselves because nobody listens.
Exactly.
Like nobody cares.
I agree.
It's like a whole popularity contest. If he's popular, I'm gonna tear him down, because as long as I'm attached to his name, you know what I'm saying, I'm important. That's how people think, and that's I try to train myself. And Drake said it best. He's like, without a response from me, you really fail to exist. And people only know about the haters and the trolls when people respond to them.
Exactly.
There's 13,000 comments, but if you should respond to the one comment, they say fuck you and say, you know what, you're fucking da da da.
Exactly.
They on his ass, you know what I mean? Like,
but people don't realize, if you ignore them, like Drake said, basically they're not important. They're irrelevant completely. Now something that I noticed when I first met you, you love some weed.
I do.
Is that still the case?
I was high when I got here. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I hope I
did not know you were high when you got here.
My voice changes. It does that little raspy shit. I'm like,
So I have to ask, how often do you smoke?
All the time.
Like in a day.
Tattooing. Care somebody will hold my blunt for me. Like.
Hold on, stop. So you're saying you'll be tattooing and you'll stop and tell somebody to hold your blunt?
No, I don't stop and tell them. Like if my friends are in the room or something, like they'll just be like, yo, like they'll be rolling up, and like if it's my turn, they'll just be like, at the end of the deal, because I don't want to take my gloves off. Like.
So how old were you when you started smoking?
I started smoking when I was like 21. I was older. I actually used to be one of them people that's like, ew, you smoke weed, like your life is gonna be a failure. I used to be like very like judgmental and shit, and then I just tried it, and then I couldn't stop laughing. I was
Do you have any other? And not saying that weed is a vice, because a lot of people smoke weed and it's far more common now than it's ever been. But do you have any other vices?
Alcohol. I'm a very big drinker.
Really? I never knew that about you.
Whew. I'm on borderline, like, is this a problem?
Wow.
That's like the past month of my life. Like,
at least you're at a point where you kind of know. Okay,
I'm very self-aware,
you
know, like even when I'm fucking up, I'm very aware that I'm fucking up. But like I said, I take my L standing up. Any choice I make, I know the consequences. I'll deal with them as is.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's the worst thing you've ever done when you were drunk?
Worst thing I've ever done when I was drunk.
And how recent was that?
I mean, it depends what worse is, but getting kicked out, I got in I didn't even really get in a fight. I don't really remember it, but I was so bruised up the next day from them trying to like restrain me that like I knew it was bad. I got kicked out this bar because I punched the bouncer.
You punched the bouncer?
Yeah, because they kicked
What are you, like 95 pounds? And you punched the bouncer?
Because we were basically asked to leave this bar because somebody was staring at my sister and her fiance.
Okay. A dude, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but they, I guess, I don't know what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they get looks because they're an interracial couple.
Okay.
My sister's very tall. He's not that tall. Like, it's just like, you know, when they walk in, like, you notice them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And somebody just kept staring and, like, kind of just being, like, really rude and ignorant, you know? And we got asked to leave because I kept, like, looking back. Like, if they have a problem, like, we can deal with this right now. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to look at my family and some, like, hate and shit. I'm really not. I just, like, I'm very protective. That's the thing. I feel like anytime I get into something, it's not even about me, really. It's about, like, other shit because I'm just, like, very protective over certain people.
Okay.
And that shit just set me off when he was like, yo, he's like, I'm going to have to ask y'all to leave. I'm like, you're going to ask us to leave.
Hold on, so y'all didn't do anything. You were just kind of sitting there
no,
mad
we were just
dogging
sitting
him
there, not even saying nothing.
You.
Oh, I might have said, because I might have been like, if we have a problem, we can handle it right now type shit, you know? But it wasn't, I didn't get up or anything, but it was just on something like, can you please stop staring at them? Because they're just having a good time. We're minding our business. Like, the whole table's like, just talking shit, you know? And
so they were trying to basically, push our buttons.
Yeah, and then when they asked us to leave, I just felt like that was, like, wrong, you know? So it was like, because they're talking shit, we have to leave because I responded to that. And it was, like I said, it was no physical. I didn't walk up to them or, like, threaten anybody or, like, even seem intimidated. I'm sitting in my chair just like, yo, we have a problem. Like, that's just rude, you know? But he asked us to leave, so we got up, and then my brain just, like, went off. It's like the pit bull started up. It's like the engine was revving, and I was just like, well, if I'm going to get kicked out, it's going to be for a reason.
It's going to be worth it.
Like, shit, right. So, yeah, I just, like, swung on him, and then I just remember, like, everybody, like, it was I remember it was embarrassing, because I remember people having cameras in my face and shit, like.
Now, was this after the show or before the show?
This was before the show.
Okay. And that didn't bring any bad publicity to you regarding the show or nothing, did it?
No. Shit. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think that would make them not want me to be on there.
So, Miss Nessie, we're gonna get into your personal life a little bit. You know, when I talked to you earlier, you said nothing was off limits. You know, so I'm sure the fellas out here wondering. You know, fellas that's watching this are wondering. Are you single? What's going on with your personal life?
I'm single and in a relationship.
Okay. Okay, explain that. You single and in a relationship.
I've learned the game now.
Okay, so what is the game? Educate us.
I notice every relationship I'm in, they be in a relationship and single at the same time. So I just started taking notes, figuring it out, and everybody's happy and we're good. It's great.
So basically, you got a main one, but you still open for applications.
Yeah, and I have
Oh, you got a couple of main ones.
I mean, no, not a couple main ones. No, there's only one main one. There's only one main one. That's gonna get me in trouble one day. There's one main one.
Is he aware that he's a main one, or?
Now that's my thing. Everybody who I talk to knows the situation, because I noticed, like, even, like, I was making a joke saying that, but, like, in real life, like, that really is the truth, though, because I feel like even though some guys I don't particularly want to share, but I feel like if they were honest, I could at least still respect them, because I still love them anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, that's the situation with the guy I have now, where he's like, we know each other since we were 18. We lost touch for a couple years. Started talking again, and it was like no time ever passed after 10 years.
Okay.
Like, it was like literally like Twilight Zone. It was weird as shit. It was just like right back into it.
Because it's surprising to me, and I'm not gonna say why it's surprising to me, but it's surprising to me that you're open to sharing now.
No, I'm not open to sharing. I said.
But you are.
But well, that's why he's the main. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know. But like, one, it's a long distance thing.
So what you don't know won't hurt you, basically.
Yeah, basically, but he's not close to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's in Atlanta, and like, we're a lot. But my thing is like, I'm also big on people like pretend prioritizing people.
Yeah.
It's like, people that pretend that they really fuck with somebody, and then all of a sudden don't got time.
Okay.
It's like, no, you just really aren't interested.
Exactly.
Truthfully, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're choosing to do different things with your time.
Yeah, because you'll make that time if you're interested.
Exactly, and I feel like we have a very, very good understanding. He knows the worst parts of me. I know like a lot about his, shit that he deals with, and I feel like we just understand each other on a level where it's like, if it's not gonna work, we can both just say it's not working, or we're just gonna do this. But even like, it's not even about like sex or anything like that. Like, it's like the intimacy for real, like the conversations, like literally having somebody understand you is like a different level of. It's just a different level
with this guy,
closeness.
if you two were in the same city, could you see it being more serious than what it is?
I feel like we leave that open, to go either which way. I'm not saying that it wouldn't go there eventually, or that it definitely will. I think it's just more of a go with what feels good, and keep it honest and keep it straight. I feel like
keep it natural.
I even let him know, even if it's bad days, and I'm like, I feel a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm like irritated today. He's like, oh, like it's like it's just having understanding, and like being able to be open with somebody. And I feel like we'll always be cool because of that. It's like there's really nothing we can do wrong to each other. For real.
So, are there any artists out here, or anybody that you want to work with that you've had your heart set on tattooing this person or doing some artwork for this person? You haven't gotten the chance to actually work with them yet.
There's so many people. I want to tattoo Lil Wayne really, really, really bad.
Does Lil Wayne have any spots on his body to be able to tattoo?
I will tattoo ! I don't care. Period. I don't care. I just want to be like, I did this dot, and it's beautiful. It's the best fucking tattoo you ever saw in your life. But like, I really want to tattoo him. I want to tattoo Slick Rick, even though I don't think he has any tattoos. J. Cole. That would be super dope. And then artist-wise, I really want to work with Sue Tai. I think she's a really dope painter.
Okay.
I've watched her interviews, and she said like she's very, very picky about things. And that makes me feel like we would probably not work well together because I'm very picky about things. But she knows I'm pretty good with taking direction to like being submissive to people who I know know better than me. And realistically, she does. So I have no problem being like, okay, taking lessons. But I also don't like to be told what to do. It's a weird zone.
I
so like, it's just a lot of different things there, but that's something I'm learning even in myself now, through the journey where it's like I'm getting this next level of life and I want to have like collaborative
because you're not even
projects.
30 years old yet, right?
Yeah, I turned 30 this year.
Oh, you did? Okay. So we've been knowing each other actually for about 9 years.
I couldn't be 9 because I've only been out here 8.
Because I thought I met you when you was like 21.
I was probably
23 or something.
I was probably 23 because when I moved here I was 21 and I was with my ex for that first like year.
Okay.
And then I didn't move to the place I was at till a year after that. So yeah.
So your biggest person that you want to tattoo out, from what I heard out of the people that you name, is Lil Wayne. I mean, there's others that you want to tattoo, but Lil Wayne
I would love to tattoo Jay-Z too, but I feel like he don't really have too many tattoos either.
And I don't know if he's really getting any tattoos nowadays.
People who I feel like, I feel like.
Now, do you want to tattoo Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, more so you can pick their brain?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That would be your
Yes, I want to learn, like, because that's honestly with tattooing, like, that's what I love the most about it. And, like, I caught myself saying the other day, like, my friends, like, you're being weird. I'm like, bro, I'm so happy, like, especially when a tattoo comes out really dope, or, like, I push my level, like, my own potential. And it was a client that I've tattooed plenty of times. He keeps coming back, so that's also, like, this is a good feeling to like, people, like, I keep wanting to get this. I'm, like, addicted to
when
your
you know
work.
people are coming back, you know you're doing something right.
Exactly. And then I'm also learning people, like, I feel like we're therapists, you know what I'm saying? Like, we listen to people's problems all day long, people's accomplishments. People get tattoos for all different types of reasons. So even watching people's journeys, like when I first meet them, it's like, I'm just going through a breakup. I really want to get this. And the next time I see them, it's like, I just opened my first business and like I bought my first house with my wife. And I'm just like, damn, bro, like I literally just, or watching kids grow up. I'm like, damn, I did a portrait of you when you was, you know what I'm saying? When you were a baby and now you're 7. Like, it's just really crazy to like, just see everybody's journey and like exchange energy with people and knowledge. And that's how I keep like even sharpening myself, because the people that come to me, they kind of know my vibe, and so I always like fuck with my clients every time,
Yeah.
bro. There's never, like, in the past 5 years, there's never been a client where I'm like, oh, this person is just... Every time I'm like, damn, bro, we were friends in a past life. Like, I feel like I know you already.
But do you ever get the client that just flirt with you so much it gets to a point where it's annoying?
No, just because I be shutting shit down early now. Like, I'm just, like, not with the shit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like also, like, people, because I've operated like that for so long, like, shit, if you gotta wait a couple weeks for an appointment or a month or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're serious enough to not.
Exactly.
Like, people don't typically, like, really push that. There's definitely people who are flirty, but not on an uncomfortable level.
Okay. So what do you think is the biggest downside to being a tattoo artist, if there are any?
I think there's plenty of downsides to being an artist. Just, like, we are our work, you know?
Okay.
There's no separation. Like, I tell people, I mean, and that might not even just be an artist thing, but an entrepreneurial thing. Where
Exactly.
It's like, you work a 24/7.
Pretty much.
9 to 5, yeah, it's hard work and all, but bro, imagine like going home and still being at work. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Or like waking up in the morning and I literally work all day long. You know, some days I don't even go outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, damn, I didn't even see outside today because like I just painted in the crib all day, you know, or whatever. Okay. I'm grateful for it, but like not all that is like you said, it's not rainbows and butterflies and shit all the time. Like, some art comes from pain. Some of my best shit has come from the worst situations I've been in. You know, just different.
To bring that up, tell me that shot that you have where I'm assuming it's your body, but then it's naked from the back with a bear head on. It's a painting of it's like it's a.
Oh, it's a Rottweiler.
Oh.
It's a Rottweiler.
What was that inspiration?
It's really funny because it snowballed into a whole thing. So I have a sign on top of my tattoo station. This is a bad bitch does my tattoos, and has like a whole bunch of Polaroids because I take Polaroids in my sessions now, and just like have them all up because I think in 10 years in Complex gonna post it like these people knew each other, you know, or like Drake status or whatever. But anyway, I have the bad bitch sign, and then when people comment on other people's tattoos that they post, like sometimes people be like, yo, he's a dog, and like I'm not a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it bothers me when people say he. Yeah. But I love the dog part and be like, yo, she's a dog. I don't know what it is about that. Like, it's like she's a beast, but like I just feel like it's a different level of like, I don't know, it's a different level of compliment, you know. Like, you know, she gets down with this shit, you know what I'm saying? This is not like this is good or this is great or dope work. Like, it's like, yo, she a dog. Like, she really do this shit. Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what, like, I was a dog doing this shit, you know what I'm saying? I was getting it any way that I fucking could. I'm out here, like, I moved out here with one bottle of black ink, a $25 tattoo machine, and I knew one fucking person.
Wow.
And it's like,
so you moved out here completely on faith.
Completely on faith, and I never settled. Like, that's another thing I'm really, really proud of, because anytime that I wanted to, like, I ain't gonna lie, one time I went to Crazy Girls and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need a couple dollars, like, to get me through, you know? And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I just, like, cried and walked away. But I was just like, damn, like, I never backed down, you know? I never, like, surrendered. Like, I got it how I wanted to get it. And now, like, I can really say that I can get up and tell, like, a little girl, like, yo, if you really believe in yourself, nobody's gonna stop you, you know what I'm saying? Ever. Like, nobody can ever stop you from getting what you want. I don't care how bad it is, you know what I'm saying? But people are broke all the time. Like, I would get in arguments with my family. Like, oh, well, maybe if you would get a job, you wouldn't be short on rent this month. And I'm like, bitch, you be short on rent some months, and you work a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, people struggle underneath people, too, like, with stability. Exactly. And then COVID happened, and that was a whole nother reality for people. Like, how stable was that? Because I was still going because I never depended on a system.
Exactly, and that's kind of how it was for me. My business has actually flourished during COVID because, as you said, everybody was sitting at home and saw everything they want built, and they was calling me to build it. You know? Right, exactly. So, you know, some people flourished during COVID and some people didn't. But at the end of the day, as I said earlier, misery loves company. So, you know, there were a lot of people out here still trying to tear people down because they're not surviving. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm not going to keep you much longer. I'm not going to keep you. We've talked quite a bit. I could sit here and talk to you all night, Nessie, because I think you have a plethora of knowledge and, you know, you got a great vibe. So I'm telling you now, I'm going to bring you on here one day to be a co-host, and you're going to sit here and interview a guest with me. Okay. All right? But this is Nessie Blaze. Tell everybody again how they can reach you and what you got coming up.
Okay. You guys can reach me at Nessie_Blaze on Instagram, Nessie_Blaze on Twitter. yeah, if you guys want work, link in my bio. Like, I'm very direct with people. It's pretty simple. I have a small team, you know what I'm saying? Like a small group of people with me. And
And
yeah,
as I
if you
said,
guys like Ink Crew.
I've gotten a number of tattoos from this young lady, and her work is fire. I can definitely vouch for that. I would say this: if you go get a tattoo from Nessie Blaze and you don't like it, come complain to me. All right. So this is A.L.N.S, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Remember, people, you're not living unless you live into the fullest. Stay blessed. Until next time.